My parents gave this to me, and it was in my little shuttle when I came over from Krypton. They said, wear it to the premiere. No, I got it on the internet.
One of the things I really liked about the filming was that I didn't realize it was you, even though it won't make the question won't make sense. I know it's you, but the voice work is so good. I would not have known it's you. How do you do the voices?
I read everybody's comments on the internet, and they really people really yearn for a difference between not only Clark and Superman, but Superman and the other Supermen and Reign of the Supermen. And I tried to change my voice work. Our voice directors and sound engineers really put a few people's voices in there. It's really cool what everybody did. So it was something that we consciously thought about going into it.
Are you really comfortable with the role now? I believe this is your fifth or sixth time now as Superman.
I don't think you're ever comfortable with Superman. It's such a scary, big boots to fill, you know. But I get more comfortable every film, yeah. And also wearing this outfit, I mean, it makes me feel comfortable.
Nice. Thank you very much. All right, so, hey, how did you approach playing Cyborg Superman, going from loving Superman to hating him and wanting to kill him?
Well, who wouldn't go from loving to hating Superman if he killed your wife, right? I mean, Superman's super for everybody else except for my love of my life. So I think Hank Henshaw becoming Cyborg Superman isn't just there to be evil or to, like, do bad or anything like that. He's there to right a wrong. He's there to show Superman, how you actually are supposed to do it. Because Cyborg Superman is not going to let people down. And if he gets some vengeance along the way, that's not a bad thing either.
Right. When you approach them, do you seem to feel that he's a sympathetic character? Or at least a sympathetic individual, even though he's pretty much a bad guy? Is that how you approach him?
Well, yeah, absolutely, because he's, Hank's a human. He was there waiting for Superman to help save him and his crew and his wife, and Superman didn't show up. And so his wife is gone, and so consequently, he's desperately trying to bring his wife back from the dead, right? He's trying to change his circumstance, and that's tragic and it's awful. So, his punches are fueled with love, and when things finally don't go correct for him, I think the audience, and this is a tribute to the writing and the animation, which I think is fantastic. I think there's an arc with Cyborg Superman in this film, without a doubt.
Thank you very much. Hey, we're here with Nyambi Nyambi, who voices Martian Manhunter. So,
how you doing?
How does Martian Manhunter react to the death of Superman? Probably his closest thing to a brother in this series.
I mean, it's family, so he's heartbroken. That's losing a leader. And, I feel like he's the closest thing, he's the one person, Superman, that will understand Martian Manhunter as far as what he's going through, being someone, one of the only surviving people of his own planet. So to lose someone like that, it's heartbreaking.
Something else you may not be aware of, but going around with a lot of the online guys, you have a lot of respect for your comic book knowledge.
Yes.
It's not just a gossamer ephemeral knowledge either.
Yeah.
How do you come across it? How do you come by it? You're a real big comics fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge comics fan. I grew up reading comic strips. And anything comic strips I read, and watched every cartoon, anything I could, anything DC, Marvel, anything as far as television was concerned. And then later on, because we moved around a lot, I didn't know that there were comic book stores that existed. And then when I moved to New York, this was 20 years ago, someone was like, hey, I go to the comic book store every Wednesday. I was like, you go to a comic book store every Wednesday? What? Everybody's going on. But can I follow you? So he took me, and we went to Midtown Comics, and from then on, every single day, I'm always like, I'm reading a comic. I try to read a comic a day. So yeah, I'm in it. I'm in. I'm all in. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm a fan of voice work, as I am clearly a gigantic human with a look as such, And I think I like voice work because you can sort of, give all that up and just inhabit, superheroes or, anthropomorphic creatures or something like that.
What's the approach to it? I mean, for the character that you're doing, okay, what's your approach?
I think it's always about trying to find like a truthful place to come from. So a lot of it's listening. We got a really great voice director with Wes Gleason. He interacts with us really well. So a lot of us is kind of listening and trying to. I mean, you're just in a booth. So we've got this whole world. We've got these big fights. We've got a lot of things going on, and so trying to imagine all of that, and then you really only have your voice to express it. It's a challenge, and it's also a great joy to do. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so you have Tony Todd, who voiced Darkseid in Reign of the Supermen.
Yes.
What was your approach to voicing the greatest evil character in the DC universe?
Well, I like the way you said that. The greatest evil character in the DC universe. I had done them twice before in Legos. I just wanted, which was a little blockier and more for, under 10-year-olds. So I wanted a chance to make him adult. And I wanted to focus on his plot plan, on his intellectualism, on his cunning. He's a very manipulative person, and I wanted to be able to catch all of it. And make sure, the trick about bad guys, you don't want to play them as bad guys. You want to play them as if they have the right answer, and everybody else is doing. So.
Can we expect to see you continue to play Darkseid for future films?
Perhaps.
Perhaps not.
Perhaps. I can't legally say.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're here with Cress Williams, who voices Steel in Reign of the Supermen. What was your approach to playing Steel, who's pretty much trying to pick up where Superman is leaving that vacuum?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much kind of a labor of love for me, because growing up, Superman was always my favorite superhero. So, and I'm such a huge superhero fan in general. So it was easy for me to just step into Steel because he's such a huge admirer of Superman. He owes his life to Superman. Superman's his favorite, and it was kind of like art imitating life for me. It was really easy to step into.
If you had to summarize Steel, okay, to the best of your ability, who is Steel?
I mean,
what makes him want to put on a suit of armor and go out and do these things?
Well, I mean, I think the fact that, he as a direct result, he's alive from Superman, from a hero stepping in and helping him, and so he now has that responsibility to pay it forward. He's the ultimate pay it forward, and in the film, he's probably got the most purest intentions. He's not out for greed. He's not out for power. He's just simply wanted to give back what was given to him, and help his hero out.
Hey, Cress Williams, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so this is the second DC animated feature that was two parts. The first was Dark Knight Returns.
The first part was Death of Superman, and this is the Reign of the Superman.
Right. This is the second storyline that you guys have broken into two parts, right?
Yeah, if you count Dark Knight Returns, yes.
Right. So why did this story need two parts as opposed to just trying to fit it all in one?
Have you read Death of Superman? It needs three. It needs four parts actually. But I think when they did Doomsday, the original version of the story, they realized that there was more story to be told. And so, fast forward, that was 10 years ago. They took a gamble on Dark Knight Returns and did a two-parter, and that did really well for them. And so the powers that be decided to go back and retell the Death of Superman story, and this time they gave us enough real estate to play with to tell the death part, but also the rebirth part. So it was to our credit that they believed in us and gave us those two parts, because it's a risky financial proposition. Luckily they're doing well.
Which goes to my next question. Are you at all surprised at the success that you've had with the two parts? It's been very successful.
I am slightly surprised because this story we already did 10 years ago, but I just wasn't sure how it would do, because people have a short, they think Doomsday came out the other day, because people discover different movies at different times. And when we first announced it, there was a lot of pushback saying, "Oh, they're doing this story again." But I guess we did something right, so it did well. And so now I'm grateful we did it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, so we see that Superman's outfit changes from that, let's say the animated outfit he was given from Justice League War.
Right.
And by the end of the film, he's in his rebirth outfit.
Yeah.
Any reason why he wasn't in the classic outfit by the end of the storyline?
Like the trunks and stuff? Is that what you're asking? Oh, I can't remember the specific thinking behind it. I think we wanted to have something that looked more traditional but was reflective of what's in the comics at the time. Meaning now, not necessarily throwing back to the original comic. But I'm not like pro or anti-trunk. You know what I mean? Trunks on the outside. So it's like, I'll do whatever the story dictates and whatever my collaborators are feeling.
Can we expect to see him in the trunks now that he's back in the trunks in the comics?
I can't really speak to that. Yeah. I mean, I'm always game, man. Like it depends on the script and it depends on what the project calls for. You know what I mean? If we're doing a story where that seems right, then yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks again.
Right on.
So, how much fun was it to work on this video?
It was so much fun. I bet a lot of people watching this video right now spend a certain amount of time each day talking about superheroes. So do we, only they pay us. Not nearly enough, but it's an actual job. Imagine getting to work and then it's like, all right, the coffee's over, time to talk about superheroes.
I mean, Jim Krieg is a famous writer. I was toiling in obscurity and was somehow, I don't know how, invited to come in and work with some of the most amazing people that I've ever met, with Alan Burnett, with Jim, with James Tucker, with Mike Carlin, Sam Liu. I mean, it's incredible. It was incredible fun. Incredible.
And that's just on the top half. On the next side B, these unbelievable actors come in and make it all come alive.
From a writing aspect, one of the things that captured was the ending. I remember the ending very clearly from reading the story. Superman vibrates the cyborg Superman into a million pieces, so that sort of thing. Where did you get the idea for this change in the ending, and why did you decide to change the ending?
There were a lot of things that we looked at, and we had to figure out how to adapt them to a cinematic medium. What would work the best, and also what would work the best in terms of the story that we were telling. And I think what we set out to do was to flesh out, so to speak, the Cyborg Superman backstory, to get a little bit more understanding of what was going on with him, and to give
That's what I was thinking. Those stories of the other Superman and Lois all kind of have to dovetail, and we felt like that gave Eradicator more decent.
It's a movie thing. I mean, I don't want to get into obscure things here, but it was kind of a movie thing. We just needed to figure out a way for Eradicator to have in the resolution of the story that was, that worked with everybody else's role.
We also want to surprise them. If you give them exactly the story from the comic, they could be bored.
I think that's the biggest thing. We said, what can we do that's going to surprise and satisfy fans? And hopefully, we've hit a good note for those matches.
Thank you. Okay, we're here with Sam Liu, director for Reign of Superman. What was the end result that you were hoping to get for the second part? The first part came in with a real lot of thunder, really big bang. How did you want to follow that up with the sequel?
I think part of the reason why we even did this story was, for the fans, right? And so I think it was difficult because we knew that this is the first time that any one of the four have been represented on screen, and so we really wanted to make sure that they were represented well, and that a fan of, whether you're a fan of each one of them, that they have their moment. But we also knew that we sort of had to tell the story of Superman, like what happens, when he's gone, what happens to the people. Where are we going plot-wise with these 4 Supermen, and set it up for his return. So his return hopefully becomes glorious and becomes a Christopher Reeve movie, basically.
What was the most challenging aspect of this film in terms of execution for the story?
I think this one is just because there were so many characters. The 4, main, obviously lovable characters, and then there was the plot, and also just in the back of our heads, like the source material that we're what was supposed to happen. Not sort of like exactly beat for beat what happened, but what was the feel and the flow of what happened, and it was a lot. It was just a lot of story, ended with basically the relevance of and the celebration of Superman returning.
Thank you very much.